friends, and welcome. My name is Kenzie Sexton and I am a 4th grade teacher in South Dakota. Today for Tech Tip Tuesday, I'm going to be showing you around Goose Chase. So let's get started. So once you go to the Goose Chase website, this is what will show up. We need to create a new game, so I'm going to click here to start a new game. And then this is kind of just the outline of your game. So they'll ask you to upload an image that shows your game. I already created one from Canva. So I'm going to click there to upload my image. There it is. And I'm going to do it as like a welcome to the classroom. So it's a welcome to 4th grade. And I'm going to name it 4th grade introduction. Quick description. So I'm going to use this game to introduce the students to their new classroom and their new classmates. So I just did a little introduction there. But I'm going to just add mine. And then a game password. And save and continue. So now you have your missions. So this is where you create the activities that you want your students to do. And they call it missions because it's a little more fun. So I'm going to click on the add mission to list. And then it asks for your mission name. We call it Cool Connection. And you get to choose how many points this is worth. So I'm going to say it's worth 400 points. And then you describe the mission. So what do you want the students to do for this activity? So I want the students to find a classmate that has the same number of siblings as you do. And have them take their picture to complete this mission. If you'd like, you can attach an image of something that will help them remember it, or a link if you want them to go to a website. And then here you choose if you want it to be a photo or video mission. So what do you want them to do to complete it? So like I said, I'm going to have them take that classmate's picture to complete the mission, so it'd be a photo mission. If it's something that they need to type in, it'd be a text. And if it's a location check-in, then it'd be GPS. I mostly use the photo and the text in my classroom. So then I'll just save changes, and then you'll see that it comes up in our mission list. Then from here, you can edit or delete different missions. Then I'm going to add another mission to the list. We're going to do something in the classroom. So maybe you want to teach your students about the classroom, or maybe we'll do the class schedule. We're going to say, look around the classroom to find our class schedule. Figure out what class you will have at, let's go 10:30, and type your answer to complete the mission. And then it's not a photo or video mission anymore, it's a text. So I'm going to switch that. Accepted answers. My students will have social studies at 10:30. So I'm going to type that in and then I'll click save changes. So it has the right answer typed in for you. The answers are case sensitive, so if your students are not aware of that, you might want to remind them before they start the game. And then if you are willing to accept any answer, then you just leave this blank. But like for this, there is a set answer, a correct answer. So I'm going to type in social studies. Then I have to choose the point value. I'm going to make it worth 500 points and I'm going to save the changes. Then I'm going to add another mission. Maybe I want the students to maybe I want them to film themselves picking out their favorite book from the library. We're going to call it favorite book. Take a look at the class library and find your favorite book. Film yourself explaining why this is your favorite to complete the mission. And it is a video mission, so I'll leave it on that. Point value, it's a little bit harder, so I'm going to make it worth more points. And then I'm going to save the changes. So now I'm going to show you how to add a link to a mission. So I'm going to call this Google Classroom. And one of the missions I'm going to have the students do is actually sign into our Google Classroom. So that is going to be worth a lot of points because they have to do it. And I'm going to say, use the link below and the code. I don't know what the code is. I'll just type in numbers right now. To join our Google Classroom. So then I'm going to go to Google Classroom. And I will copy the link from the URL and I will attach it here. So that will take them to Google Classroom so they can sign in. If your students have not signed in before, you might want to give them more instructions than that. And then I have to choose how I'm going to have them submit that they have completed this assignment. I'm just going to have them, it's going to be a text one, and I'm just going to have them type the word done after you have completed this mission. So then they should be typing the word done. You'll see the link is there and I'll save the changes. So that's how easy it is to make these games on here if you want to create your own missions. There also is mission banks, so these are easy ways to add created missions that somebody else has already made, and then you just choose which ones you want to add. So you can scroll through there, you can find whatever you want, you can search for certain missions, and then you can switch between your bank and the Goose Chase bank. So the Goose Chase bank is everybody's, and my bank is the ones that I've created. So then if I go off to the side, the game info is the beginning stuff that I've set up to introduce this activity. The missions are the activities that the students are going to complete. And then up here also you can choose how you want to list them. So if you want them to be like the highest points at the top of the list for the students, that'll be by point value. You can go alphabetical, random, or custom. You can set it up however. So if there's a certain way you want them to complete it, you can do that. Random's a good way if you don't want all the students completing the same activities at the same time. So then the game script, it allows you to schedule the events. So like how you want the students to complete the mission. And then you can also send messages to your students during the game as well. So you click on add automation. So you can set missions to available, you can send to expired, or you can send a message. So I'm going to send a message. It's going to be a welcome to the 4th grade introduction mission. See if you can complete these activities that introduce you to our classroom and your peers. Good luck. So then you can go over to when it happens, and then you can choose the time, the relative time you want it to start, the exact time, or you can just choose start of game or end of game. So I'm going to click start of game, create, and then I'm also going to choose to add an automation at the end. So I'm going to we're going to call it the congratulations message. We're going to send it to all participants, and we're going to say, congratulations, you have completed all of the missions required. You are now an expert of your classroom and peers. When it happens, we're going to have it go at the end of the game. Create. So now we have a message being sent to the students at the beginning of the game and the end of the game to get them started. You can have teams, you can have individual players, depending on how you want it set up. I would set my game up as individuals because I want each student to figure out how to use these different things. And then if you want to pre-create teams, you can do that here. So you click create new. You can upload an image for the team name, and then you'd name the team, and you'd have a code for that team to enter in with. So maybe this school year you have to keep students in certain groups. You could do it that way. And then you can also choose to allow the students to create their own teams if that's how you are going to play it. But you'll have to make sure you choose if you want teams or individual players. And then here you can choose like how long you want them to work on it. So maybe we are only going to have an hour of class time to do this, so I'd set it for like an hour. So then once the game gets started, in the activity feed, you'll start to see student answers and what they are submitting here. You can choose to set a hashtag for your users to share photos on Twitter. It's not something that we would do in the classroom, so I wouldn't use that at all. Then the leaderboard shows you which students have completed the greatest amount of points for this game. Then you can choose to send messages to certain teams at any time. You can adjust scores by teams and you can remove teams. So this is something you'd probably want to have pulled up as students are completing the missions. And it's also something that you could project on the board if you want them to see how scores are going, or that's something you can show at the end. And then the submissions hub is just an organized station of all the missions from, or all the submissions during the missions. And then you can go over here after you start to get some and you can download them. So you have printed copies of it as well. So if you do it as like a project, you could download them. And then you can choose how you group the missions. So if you want to group them by teams to download all entire teams work, or how you want that set up.
So the main idea of Goose Chase is to set up a digital scavenger hunt, but there are a few ways that you can use that. Some of the ways that I thought of were to teach students about the classroom, let them explore and find different things in the classroom setting. You could also use it to teach students classroom expectations, and you could use it for test review as well. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe below. I would also love to hear from you in the comments. Thanks for watching.